First contact. In the year 2045, Earth had changed. The skies were no longer just a canvas for clouds and birds, but a bustling highway of personal flying vehicles and delivery drones. Cities had grown upward and downward, with gleaming skyscrapers stretching into the stratosphere and vast underground complexes housing millions. But humanity's greatest achievement lay not in its cityscapes or technology, but in its mastery of the human genome. Dr. Aria Chen stood at the heart of this achievement. Her lab, nestled deep within the Rocky Mountains, was a marvel of modern science. Here, she and her team had unlocked the secrets of human potential, creating a generation of enhanced individuals known as the Novus Sapiens. Aria herself was one of the first. Her emerald eyes, flecked with gold, could perceive wavelengths far beyond the visible spectrum. Her mind, augmented by neural implants, could process information at speeds that would make supercomputers jealous. But today, even her enhanced senses were overwhelmed by what she was witnessing. "It's happening again," her assistant Marcus said, his voice trembling with excitement. "The signal, it's stronger this time." Aria nodded, her eyes fixed on the holographic display before her. For weeks, they had been detecting an unusual pattern emanating from deep space. At first, they had dismissed it as background radiation or instrument error. But as the signal grew stronger and more complex, they could no longer deny the truth. They were not alone in the universe. "Alert the World Council," Aria commanded, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "And get me a direct line to the president." As Marcus hurried to carry out her orders, Aria allowed herself a moment of reflection. Humanity had long dreamed of this moment, but now that it was here, she felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. Would these aliens be friendly, hostile, or something beyond their comprehension? Within hours, the news had spread across the globe. Governments convened emergency sessions, religious leaders sought guidance in ancient texts, and ordinary citizens looked to the stars with a mixture of hope and fear. In Washington, D.C., President Zara Okonkwo stood before a sea of reporters, her dark skin contrasting sharply with her white suit. "My fellow citizens of Earth," she began, her voice resonating with strength and calm, "today, we stand on the precipice of a new era. We have received undeniable proof of intelligent life beyond our world." As the president spoke, Aria and her team worked tirelessly to decipher the alien message. It was unlike anything they had ever encountered, a complex tapestry of mathematical equations, quantum fluctuations, and what appeared to be a form of psychic resonance. "It's not just a message," Aria realized, her eyes widening. "It's an invitation." Days turned into weeks as the world prepared for first contact. Space agencies around the globe pooled their resources, constructing a massive array of satellites designed to amplify Earth's response. Linguists and cryptographers worked around the clock, developing new algorithms to facilitate communication. And then, on a crisp autumn morning, it happened. The sky above New York City shimmered and warped, as if reality itself was being bent. A collective gasp rose from the millions watching from the streets and through screens around the world. Slowly, majestically, a ship emerged from the distortion. It was unlike anything humanity had imagined. The vessel seemed to be alive, its surface rippling with colors and patterns that defied description. It was massive, easily dwarfing the tallest skyscrapers, yet it moved with a grace that seemed to defy physics. As the alien ship descended, a hush fell over the city. Even the ever-present hum of technology seemed to quiet in reverence to this moment. Aria, who had been flown in to witness the event firsthand, felt her enhanced heart racing. A beam of light shot down from the ship, touching down in Central Park. Within the beam, shapes began to form. Aria squinted, her enhanced vision struggling to make sense of what she was seeing. And then suddenly, they were there. The aliens, the Xeraxians, as they would later introduce themselves, were a sight to behold. They stood nearly 10 feet tall, their bodies a seamless blend of organic matter and what appeared to be living metal. Their faces were a shifting kaleidoscope of fractal patterns, mesmerizing to behold. As the world watched with bated breath, one of the Xeraxians stepped forward. It raised a limb, not quite an arm, but something more fluid and adaptable, and made a series of gestures. The air around it shimmered, and suddenly, words appeared in the sky, visible to all. Greetings, children of Earth. We come in peace and curiosity. Let us share knowledge and grow together. Arya felt a surge of emotion, relief, excitement, and a deep sense of wonder. As she watched the Xeraxians interact with Earth's representatives, she knew that everything was about to change. Humanity had taken its first step into a larger universe, and she was determined to ensure it was a step towards a brighter future. Little did she know that this moment of triumph would soon be overshadowed by challenges beyond her wildest imagination. The arrival of the Xeraxians was just the beginning, and humanity's true test was yet to come. Cultural exchange. The weeks following first contact were a whirlwind of activity. As humanity grappled with the reality of alien life, Dr. Arya Chen found herself at the forefront of a new frontier, xenodiplomacy. The Xeraxians had established a base of operations in what was once Central Park, their living ship now a permanent fixture in the New York skyline. The vessel, which they called the Nexus, had transformed the park into a breathtaking blend of terrestrial and alien ecosystems. Bioluminescent plants intertwined with Earth's flora, creating a landscape that defied imagination. Arya stood at the entrance of the Nexus, her enhanced senses drinking in the alien environment. Beside her stood Zix, her Xeraxian counterpart in the cultural exchange program. "Are you prepared to enter the mindscape, Dr. Chen?" Zix's voice was a symphony of harmonics, each word resonating on multiple frequencies. Arya nodded, her heart racing with anticipation. "I am." The mindscape was the Xeraxians' most closely guarded technology, a virtual realm where thoughts became reality and knowledge could be shared instantaneously. It was a space beyond physical limitations, where the boundaries between individuals blurred. As they stepped into the Nexus, Arya felt a shift in her perception. Colors became more vivid, sounds more layered. The air itself seemed to pulse with information. Zix guided her to a chamber at the heart of the ship, where several other humans and Xeraxians were already gathered. "Remember," Zix cautioned, "in the mindscape, intention is everything. Your thoughts will shape your experience, and ours." With that, Arya felt a sudden rush, as if she were falling upwards into an endless sky. When she opened her eyes, or rather, when she became aware again, she found herself in a realm of pure thought. Ideas flowed around her like rivers of light. Concepts too complex for words took shape as intricate, multi-dimensional fractals. She saw the history of the Xeraxian civilization unfold before her. Millions of years of evolution, technological advancement, and philosophical growth. But it wasn't just passive observation. Arya felt her own knowledge, her own experiences, merging with the collective consciousness of the mindscape. She shared humanity's triumphs and failures, its art and science, its hopes and fears. As the exchange deepened, Arya began to understand the true nature of the Xeraxians. They were not merely visitors from another world, they were guardians of life itself. For eons they had traveled the cosmos, seeking out young civilizations on the brink of interstellar emergence. Earth, they revealed, was at a crucial juncture. Humanity's rapid technological advancement had caught the attention of forces beyond their comprehension. The galaxy was a dangerous place, filled with wonders and terrors in equal measure. Suddenly, Arya felt a disturbance in the mindscape. A shadow seemed to pass over the collective consciousness, bringing with it a sense of dread. She saw flashes of worlds consumed by darkness, civilizations snuffed out like candles in a storm. The Xeraxians' concern became palpable. They showed Arya visions of a threat that lurked in the void between galaxies, a hive-mind entity they called the Omega Swarm. This cosmic horror consumed everything in its path, assimilating knowledge and technology, growing ever stronger. With a jolt, Aria found herself back in the physical world. She gasped, her mind reeling from the intensity of the experience. Around her, she saw the other human participants in similar states of shock and awe. Zix's fractal face shimmered with what Aria now recognized as concern. "You've seen it then," the alien said softly. "The threat that looms over us all." Aria nodded, her voice barely a whisper. "The Omega Swarm. It's coming here, isn't it?" "Yes," Zix confirmed. "Your world's emergence has drawn its attention. We came not just to make contact, but to prepare you." As the implications sank in, Aria felt a mix of fear and determination. Humanity had just taken its first steps into a larger universe, only to find itself facing an existential threat. But they weren't alone. The Xeraxians were here to help, to guide, to prepare. "What can we do?" Aria asked, her voice gaining strength. "How can we defend ourselves against something like that?" Zix's form shimmered, patterns shifting in what Aria now recognized as a sign of approval. "That, Dr. Chen, is where humanity's unique qualities come into play. Your species has something we've rarely encountered in our travels, an unparalleled capacity for innovation and adaptation." Over the next few days, as news of the Omega Swarm spread, Earth was gripped by a mixture of panic and resolve. Governments worldwide declared a state of emergency, redirecting resources towards planetary defense. The Xeraxians, true to their word, began sharing advanced technologies to aid in the preparation. But it was in an unexpected arena that humanity truly began to shine. As Xeraxian scientific concepts were disseminated, artists, musicians, and storytellers across the globe found inspiration. A new art form emerged, one that blended human creativity with alien mathematics and multidimensional thinking. They called it quantum art, and its impact was profound. These creations, part sculpture, part equation, part symphony, could convey complex scientific principles in ways that resonated on a deep, almost instinctual level. People who experienced quantum art found themselves grasping advanced physics and xenobiology with unprecedented ease. Aria, watching a quantum art performance in Times Square, felt a surge of pride. Holographic fractals danced in the air, accompanied by a haunting melody that seemed to speak directly to the subconscious. The artist, a young woman from Lagos, manipulated the display with graceful gestures, weaving in real-time data from the Xeraxians' stellar observations. "Remarkable," Zix commented, its form rippling with excitement. "We've shared knowledge with many species, but never have we seen it transformed and internalized so beautifully." Aria smiled. "That's humanity for you. We take ideas and run with them, often in directions no one expected." As they watched, Aria's mind raced with possibilities. If humanity could adapt Xeraxian knowledge so quickly and creatively in the realm of art, what else might they achieve? The Omega Swarm was coming, yes, but perhaps Earth had more to offer in this cosmic struggle than anyone, human or Xeraxian, had initially believed. The cultural exchange had yielded unexpected fruits, and as Aria looked up at the star-filled sky, she felt a glimmer of hope. The challenges ahead were immense, but humanity was rising to meet them in ways that continued to astonish their alien allies. Little did they know that Earth's creative awakening was about to play a crucial role in the battles to come, battles that would determine the fate not just of humanity, but of life throughout the galaxy, the galactic threat. As Earth braced for the coming storm, Dr. Aria Chen found herself at the helm of humanity's most audacious project yet, Operation Starforge. The initiative, born from the fusion of human ingenuity and Xeraxian technology, aimed to transform the entire solar system into an interconnected defense grid. At the heart of this endeavor was the Dyson Swarm, a vast array of satellites encircling the Sun, each one a miniature world unto itself. These weren't mere machines, but living structures grown from a hybrid of Earth's extremophiles bacteria and Xeraxian biotechnology. Aria stood on the observation deck of Harmony Station, the first of these orbital habitats. Through the crystalline viewport, she watched as another seed satellite budded off the station, propelling itself towards its designated orbit with tendrils of plasma. Magnificent, isn't it? The voice belonged to Captain Zara Okonkwo, formerly the President of the United States, now the commander of Earth's unified Space Force. Sometimes I can hardly believe we've come this far in just a few years. Arya nodded, her enhanced eyes tracking the movements of the swarm. It's incredible, but will it be enough? Before Zara could respond, an alarm blared through the station. Red lights pulsed, and holographic displays sprang to life around them. "Attention all personnel," an AI voice announced, its tone eerily calm. "Anomaly detected in the Kuiper Belt. All hands to battle stations." Arya and Zara exchanged a look of grim determination. The moment they had been preparing for had finally arrived. As they raced to the command center, Arya's mind interfaced directly with the station's systems. Data flooded her consciousness, sensor readings, tactical assessments, real-time updates from the farthest reaches of the solar system. The command center was a hive of activity. Humans and Xeraxians worked side by side, their movements a choreographed dance of efficiency. At the center of it all stood Zix, its fractal form pulsing with urgency. "The Omega Swarm has breached the heliopause," Zix announced, its voice resonating on multiple frequencies. "Our outer sensors are going dark." Holographic displays showed the approaching threat, a roiling mass of darkness that seemed to devour light itself. But as Arya watched, she noticed something odd. "Wait," she said, her enhanced mind racing. "The swarm's movement, it's not random. There's a pattern." She gestured, and the holographic display zoomed in. The Omega Swarm wasn't a uniform mass, but a complex, ever-shifting structure. As they watched, it seemed to pulse and writhe, almost like it's dancing. Arya breathed, realization dawning. The swarm, it's responding to music. Captain Okonkwo looked skeptical. Music in space. Zix's form shimmered with excitement. Not music as you understand it, but cosmic harmonics. The fundamental vibrations of the universe itself. Arya's mind raced with possibilities. The quantum art projects, they were onto something. What if? What if we could communicate with a swarm? Not fight it, but harmonize with it. The idea was met with a mixture of hope and skepticism, but as the Omega Swarm drew closer, tearing through the outer planets like tissue paper, they realized they had nothing to lose. Over the next few hours, Arya worked feverishly with a team of human artists and Xeraxian scientists. They analyzed the swarm's movements, breaking down its complex patterns into mathematical equations. Then, using the principles of quantum art, they began to compose. The result was unlike anything ever created before. It was music, but also mathematics. Art, but also science. A symphony of light, sound, and quantum fluctuations that spoke the language of the cosmos itself. As the Omega Swarm approached Mars, Earth unleashed its secret weapon. The Dyson Swarm came alive, each satellite becoming a node in a vast, solar system-wide instrument. Beams of coherent light pulsed between the nodes, creating intricate geometric patterns that shifted and evolved in time with the cosmic symphony. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. The Omega Swarm continued its relentless advance, consuming asteroids and space stations alike. But then, almost imperceptibly at first, it began to change. The outer edges of the swarm started to move in sync with the Dyson Swarm's patterns. Tendrils of darkness wove themselves into the light show, adding new layers of complexity to the cosmic dance. Arya watched in awe as the Omega Swarm, this unstoppable force that had terrorized galaxies, began to transform. It was no longer a mindless consumer of worlds, but a participant in the greatest art installation the universe had ever seen. Hours passed, then days. The dance continued, growing ever more complex, ever more beautiful, and as it did, something unprecedented occurred. The Omega Swarm began to communicate. Not with words, not even with thoughts, but with pure, raw experience. Aria and the others who interfaced with the swarm found themselves awash in alien memories, in knowledge spanning billions of years and countless galaxies. They learned that the Omega Swarm wasn't evil, wasn't even truly alive in any sense they understood. It was a cosmic algorithm, set in motion at the dawn of time to catalogue and preserve the knowledge of the universe. But somewhere along the way, it had lost its purpose, consuming indiscriminately in its quest for data. Now, through the power of quantum art and human creativity, the swarm had been reminded of its original function. It no longer needed to consume to learn. It could experience, could share, could grow. As the realization spread, shears erupted throughout the solar system. Humanity had faced its greatest threat not with weapons, but with art and understanding. They had turned an enemy into an ally, a destroyer into a preserver. The Xeraxians were awestruck. In all their eons of exploration, they had never encountered a species capable of such a feat. Humanity, with its unique blend of creativity, adaptability, and sheer audacity, had achieved the impossible. As the celebration continued, Aria stood quietly, watching the transformed Omega Swarm dance with the dice in array. She knew that this was only the beginning. With the knowledge of the swarm at their disposal and the Xeraxians as their allies, humanity was poised to take its place among the cosmic powers. The universe, it seemed, would never be the same again, and neither would humanity. Little did they know, this miraculous victory was about to catapult Earth into an even grander adventure, one that would challenge their newfound unity and push the boundaries of their burgeoning cosmic art to its very limits. Quantum Renaissance. In the years following the transformation of the Omega Swarm, Earth underwent a revolution unlike any in human history. The fusion of human creativity, Xeraxian technology, and the vast knowledge contained within the now benevolent swarm gave birth to a new era, the Quantum Renaissance. Dr. Aria Chen stood at the heart of this revolution, her enhanced mind now further augmented by direct neural links to both the Dyson swarm and the transformed Omega Swarm. She had become a bridge between humanity, alien allies, and the living algorithm that once threatened to consume the galaxy. "Welcome to New Alexandria," Aria said, gesturing to the sprawling complex before her. The building, if it could be called that, was a marvel of bio-quantum architecture. Its walls shifted and flowed like liquid crystal, responding to the thoughts and emotions of those within. Beside her, Captain Zara Okonkwo whistled in appreciation. "When you said you were building a library, I didn't expect this." Aria smiled. "It's more than a library. It's a living interface to the sum total of knowledge in our corner of the universe." As they entered, the walls came alive with swirling patterns of light and color. Information danced around them, responding to their curiosity. With a thought, Aria called up a holographic display of the Milky Way. "We've made contact with over 1,000 civilizations in the past year alone," she explained. "Some more advanced than us, some less so. But all of them eager to join the quantum network." The quantum network was humanity's gift to the galaxy, a vast interconnected web of consciousness and information. Through it, species separated by thousands of light years could share knowledge, art, and experiences in real time. But not everyone was thrilled with Earth's rapid ascension to galactic prominence. As if on cue, an alert chimed in Aria's mind. Her expression turned grave. "The Syndicate is on the move again." The Syndicate, a loose coalition of species who viewed the spread of the quantum network as a threat to their power, had been causing trouble across the galaxy. They feared the free exchange of information and the breaking down of barriers between species. Zara's hand instinctively moved to her weapon, a quantum-phase pistol that could stun, disintegrate, or teleport targets across vast distances. "Where this time?" "The Andromeda Galaxy," Aria replied, expanding the holographic display. "They're targeting a young civilization on the brink of achieving quantum communication." What happened next would have been impossible just a few years ago. Aria closed her eyes, interfacing directly with the quantum network. In an instant, her consciousness was projected across millions of light years, manifesting as a holographic avatar on a distant world. The planet, Lux Prime, was a jewel of azure oceans and emerald continents, but its beauty was marred by the Syndicate's attack ships darkening the skies. Aria's avatar materialized in the Grand Hall of Lux Prime's leaders. The aliens, vaguely humanoid, but with iridescent scales and compound eyes, recoiled in surprise. "I am Aria Chen of Earth," she announced, her words automatically translated. "We've detected the threat to your world. We're here to help." As Aria briefed the Luxians on the situation, Zara coordinated Earth's response back in the Milky Way. The Dyson swarm hummed to life, channeling the power of the sun into a vast quantum teleportation array. Within minutes, a fleet of Earth's bioquantum ships materialized in Lux Prime's orbit, their organic hulls pulsing with energy. But this was no mere military intervention. Each ship was crewed not just by humans and Xeraxians, but by artists, scientists, and philosophers from 100 worlds. They brought with them the most powerful weapon in the galaxy, ideas. As the Syndicate ships opened fire, Earth's fleet responded with a dazzling display of quantum art. The space between the two armadas came alive with swirling fractals and pulsing geometries. Beams of coherent light wove complex patterns, telling the story of life's interconnectedness across the cosmos. Many of the Syndicate crews, confronted with this display, found their resolve wavering. The art spoke to something deep within them, awakening a sense of wonder and unity that transcended species boundaries. But the Syndicate leaders were not so easily swayed. They pressed their attack, their weapons tearing through the quantum art display. It was then that humanity unveiled its trump card. From the flagship of the Earth fleet, a signal was broadcast, not just to the Syndicate ships, but to every quantum-capable device in the Andromeda galaxy. It was an invitation to join the grandest experiment in galactic history, the Great Upload. Volunteers from Earth and 100 other worlds had agreed to temporarily merge their consciousness into a vast galactic mind. For a brief moment, the thoughts, feelings, and experiences of billions of beings across two galaxies were united. The effect was indescribable. Syndicate crews found themselves experiencing life from the perspective of their enemies. They felt the joy of discovery, the pain of loss, the wonder of art, and the thrill of love, all multiplied across countless minds. In that moment, the arbitrary boundaries between species, between cultures, between galaxies, all melted away. The Syndicate attack faltered, then ceased entirely. Across Andromeda, beings of all species laid down their weapons, overcome by the sheer beauty and complexity of shared existence. As the Great Upload ended and individual consciousness returned, the galaxy was forever changed. The Syndicate dissolved, its member species eagerly joining the quantum network they once feared. Back on Earth, Aria opened her eyes, tears streaming down her face. The experience had been overwhelming, even for her enhanced mind. "It worked," she whispered, her voice filled with awe. "We did it." Zara, who had participated in the upload from Earth, was equally moved. "I never imagined. Is this what it means to be truly connected?" Aria nodded. "This is just the beginning. The quantum renaissance is spreading faster than we ever dreamed possible. Entire galaxies are reaching out, eager to join the network." As they looked out over the shifting walls of New Alexandria, Aria and Zara knew that the universe would never be the same. Humanity, once confined to a single planet, had become a force for unity and enlightenment on a cosmic scale. But even as they celebrated this monumental achievement, a new alert chimed in Aria's mind. Something was stirring in the spaces between galaxies, something ancient, powerful, and very, very curious about this new galactic consciousness. The quantum renaissance had attracted the attention of cosmic forces beyond even the Omega Swarm's understanding. Humanity's greatest challenge, and its greatest adventure, was just beginning. The multiversal nexus. The quantum renaissance had ushered in an era of unprecedented growth and harmony across the known universe. But for Dr. Aria Chen and Captain Zara Okonkwo, the greatest adventure was yet to come. It began with a whisper, a barely perceptible fluctuation in the quantum network that linked countless civilizations across multiple galaxies. At first, Aria dismissed it as background noise, a natural anomaly in the vast sea of cosmic data. But as the days passed, the whisper grew into a song, a haunting melody that seemed to emanate from the very fabric of space-time itself. "What do you make of it?" Zara asked, her brow furrowed as she studied the holographic representations of the anomaly floating above New Alexandria's central atrium. Aria's eyes, now swirling pools of quantum energy, pulsed with excitement. "It's an invitation," she breathed. "No, a challenge." The signal, they discovered, was coming from a point at the very edge of the observable universe. It pulsed in prime numbers, a universal indicator of intelligence. But it was the content of the message that truly shocked them. Its instructions, Aria explained to the hastily assembled Galactic Council. Instructions for building something the likes of which we've never seen before. What followed was the most ambitious construction project in the history of life itself. Pooling the resources of 1,000,000 worlds, harnessing the energy of entire galactic clusters, they built what the mysterious signal had outlined, the multiversal nexus. A year later, Aria and Zara stood before the completed structure. It defied conventional description, a massive fractal megastructure that seemed to exist in more dimensions than the human mind could comprehend. It pulsed with energies that made even the Omega Swarm seem primitive by comparison. "Are we really going through with this?" Zara asked, a mix of fear and anticipation in her voice. Aria nodded, her expression resolute. Humanity didn't come this far to turn back now. With a thought, Aria activated the nexus. Reality itself seemed to shudder. The structure began to rotate in impossible ways, its fractal arms facing in and out of existence. A portal opened at its center, a swirling vortex of pure possibility. Aria and Zara, along with a hand-picked team of the galaxy's brightest minds, stepped through. What they discovered defied imagination. They found themselves in a realm beyond the universe, the multiversal substrate, an infinite expanse where countless realities bubbled into existence, lived out their cosmic lifespans, and winked out of being. But they weren't alone. "Welcome, young ones," a voice echoed in their minds. "We've been expecting you." Before them materialized beings of pure thought and energy, the architects. These transdimensional entities revealed that they were the caretakers of the multiverse, nurturing promising civilizations and guiding them towards cosmic enlightenment. "Your quantum renaissance caught our attention," the architects explained. "It's been eons since we've seen such potential." The truth, as it turned out, was more fantastic than any science fiction. Our universe, they learned, was a testing ground, one of countless experimental realities designed to foster the evolution of consciousness itself. And humanity, through its unique blend of creativity, resilience, and cosmic art, had achieved something remarkable: multiversal resonance. "Your quantum network," the architects explained, "has harmonized your entire universe in a way we've rarely seen. You've united not just worlds or galaxies, but an entire cosmic reality." The implications were staggering. Humanity and its allies were being offered a chance to join the architects as custodians of the multiverse itself. But with this opportunity came a grave responsibility. The architects warned of a looming crisis, a malevolent intelligence that sought to unravel the very fabric of the multiverse. This void entity, as they called it, consumed entire realities, growing stronger with each universe it devoured. "We believe your unique approach, your ability to transform threats into allies through art and empathy, may be the key to facing this challenge," the architects said. Aria and Zara exchanged a look of determination. This was why humanity had evolved, why they had faced every challenge and emerged stronger. They were born for this moment. What followed was a multiversal odyssey beyond imagination. Arya Zara and their team journeyed across countless realities, each stranger and more wondrous than the last. They encountered civilizations that defied the very laws of physics as they knew them, life forms that existed as pure mathematics, and worlds where thought and reality were one and the same. Through it all, they spread the teachings of the quantum renaissance. With each reality they touched, the multiversal resonance grew stronger, creating a harmonious network that spanned not just space and time, but the very possibilities of existence itself. Finally, they confronted the void entity, a being of uncreation that dwarfed galaxies. But humanity did not face this threat with weapons or technology. Instead, they unleashed the most powerful force in the multiverse: pure, unbridled creativity. Arya, channeling the combined artistic and scientific genius of countless civilizations, composed a multiversal symphony. It was art on a scale never before conceived, a harmony that resonated with the very strings of reality itself. As the symphony played out across the multiversal stage, the void entity found itself not destroyed, but transformed. The harmony of creation touched something deep within its unbeing, awakening a spark of consciousness that had long been dormant. In that moment, the multiverse itself seemed to hold its breath, and then, miraculously, the void entity began to create rather than destroy. Entire universes blossomed in its wake, each one a unique and beautiful expression of cosmic creativity. As Arya Zara and their team returned to their home reality, they knew that existence itself had been forever changed. Humanity had not just secured its place among the cosmic powers, it had reshaped the very nature of reality through the power of art and empathy. The multiversal nexus, once a portal to unknown realms, now stood as a symbol of infinite possibility. And as Arya looked out over the shimmering expanse of creation, she knew that this was not an end, but a beginning. For in the vast, endless canvas of the multiverse, humanity's greatest masterpiece was yet to be painted.